Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're gonna start with some review of solving equations, but we're gonna go like with basic stuff, right? Okay, so to solve this, right, a squared equals 25. I basically take a square root of both sides. So I get a equals what? Just 5? Plus or minus 5, right? When you square both sides, you're always going to get plus or minus 5. Okay, now, guess what? I'm going to jump all the way to D first. Divide by 3, divide by 3. N squared is equal to 16. Take a square root, N is what? Plus or minus 4. Yeah? Plus or minus 4. So whenever you square both sides, it's plus or minus 4. Okay, let's go back to B. B plus 4 squared equals 49. To get rid of the square, I'm going to take a square root, So I get B plus 4 equal to plus or minus 7. Okay, now I have to solve for B, so I got to subtract 4. B equals negative 4 plus or minus 7. Now here I have two solutions. One is B is negative 4 plus 7. One is B is negative 4 minus 7. Do you see that? So negative 4 plus 7, negative 4 minus 7. And then so in the top, I get B equals 3, B equals minus 11. Right? Okay, so those are the two answers here. Okay, let's do this one. What am I going to do first? Take a square root. So m minus 5 equals plus or minus. Can you simplify root 13? No. So it's just root 13. Now what do I do? Add 5, add 5. So I get m is 5 plus or minus root 13. Now you still have two solutions. One is 5 plus root 13. But can you simplify that further? No. So you just leave it like that. Okay? So, all right. So take a look. How many solutions did we get here? 2. Because A is positive 5 and negative 5. How many solutions here? 2. How many solutions here? 2. 5 plus root 13, 5 minus root 13. And here too, I got two solutions. Plus 4, minus 4. Okay? All right. So, talking about perfect square trinomials, that's exactly what we have over there, right? That I was talking about, the x squared plus 10x plus 25. So, a perfect square trinomial is if you have a perfect square, right? And then you factor like this. So, let's take a look here. Look at just the left side of this. Ignore the 25, just the blue. Is that a perfect square trinomial? It looks like it can be because you've got a perfect square. So how would we factor that? Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 36 is 6. Minus or plus in the middle? Minus, same as this. Equals 25. Now how am I going to solve this? Take a square root of both sides. So, x minus 6 is plus or minus 5. Okay? So, square root of a square goes away, so I just have x minus 6. Root 25 plus or minus 5. Now I need to get rid of the 6. What am I going to do? Add 6 to both sides. So x is 6 plus or minus 5. When there are no square roots anywhere, you have to go further and simplify. So this will be 6 plus 5, 6 minus 5. So what will 6 plus 5 be? 11 and 1. Cool? Okay. Look here. Perfect square trinomial. So I factor like this. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 64, 8, minus or plus in the middle? Minus. What now? Take a square root. So what do I get on the left? Yeah. Because it always goes with this number. So first I do root 64 is 8, and then negative, negative. Absolutely. So x minus 8 here, and then what do I get on the other side? Just 7? Plus or minus 7. And now, add 8, add 8. X is 8 plus or minus 7. So x is 8 plus 7. X is 8 minus 7. 15 and 1. Isn't that fun? Right, Josh? Isn't that fun? Yep. Okay. All right. Here we go. Perfect square trinomial. How do I factor this? What do you think? Tell me. 4. X plus 4. Good. Right? So now, it's okay. It's okay. There are no problems here. This is math. So take a square root. Take a square root. X plus 4 is equal to plus or minus what? Okay, square root of 20. Okay, so what the heck, Miss Malikin? What's square root 20? Oh my God, we can totally simplify. How can we divide 20? 4 and 5 or 10 and 2? I promise you, black magic, both will get you the same answer in the end. Okay? They'll either, whether you do 4 and 5 or 10 and 2, you get the same answer in the end. So let's do 4 and 5. Here we get 2 and 2, correct? So remember, whatever has a partner can come out of jail, right? So this is plus or minus. Those 2's escape, and that lonely 5 stays in there. Right? So now what am I going to do with the 4? Minus 4, minus 4. X is negative 4 plus or minus 2 root 5. Oh my God, this is like literally the most fun thing I've done all day. I'm not even kidding. This is so much fun. What a way to end the day. Right? Okay. Okay, so tell me how to factor this, guys. Okay, tell me. Yep, x minus 3. Okay. Square root. Square root. X minus 3. Whoops. Equals plus or minus root 32. Okay, let's simplify that root 32. Okay, tell me. How should we divide? Huh? 8 and 4. 8 and 4. So this will be 2 and 4, and then 2 and 2. And this will be 2 and 2. So let's see what the pairs are. A 2, a 2. So 2 times 2 come out, and that lonely 2 stays in. So x minus 3. It doesn't have a partner. You don't have a partner, you stay in jail.
Wait, oh, for like...
Yeah, so this comes out as a pair. This comes out as a pair. That lonely 2 doesn't have a pair, so it stays in. So plus or minus 4 root 2. So you add 3. You add 3. So x is what? Tell me. Facts. Okay? Can we simplify that further? No, because one has a root, one doesn't. It's just no. Okay? Fabulous. Now, wouldn't it be great if every single problem had a perfect square trinomial? Right? Sadly, that's not how the world works. So, never fear though, because we can make everything a perfect square trinomial. I can turn any quadratic equation into a perfect square trinomial and solve it like that. No, it's okay. This is math. We make everything perfect. It's okay. We don't care about feelings. Right? It's okay. It's okay. All right. Okay, so what we have to do is called completing the square. Get it? Because it's not a perfect square, so you complete the square. Okay. What we need to do is find the value of c. Okay? How do you find the value of c? Here's what you do. You find half of b, or b over 2. You square that, and that's your c. Okay, you have no idea what I'm talking about, so let's just do one. Here we go. Here, what is a in this problem? 1. A is 1. What is b? Negative 14, but we can just pretend it's 14. To find c, here's what you're going to do. Negative 14 divided by 2, and then square. So what's negative 14 divided by 2? Negative 7 squared is 49, so c is 49. Okay, here. Guess what? Because you're squaring, you can ignore the negative. You could have just done 14. So here, this is b. I take b, divide by 2. What do I get? 9. Square it, 81, so c is 81. Cool? Okay? Now, sit up. See someone else, I'm going to address later. It's up to you. Okay. So, let's solve completing the square. Ready? I mean, it doesn't matter because we're going to do it. Okay? All right, let's do it. So, here's what we do. When I say solve by completing the square, here's what you have to do. Move the constant to the other side. Okay? So why don't we do this step by step right now? Which one is the constant? X squared minus 10x plus 24. The 24 is the constant. So I subtract 24. So I get x squared minus 10x. But look at what I'm going to do. Plus a number equals negative 24 plus a number. Right? So I moved the 24 here, but I need to add a number there. Now, step 2 is find c and add to both sides. Because remember how to find c? Almost. 10 over 2, that's 5, and then you have to square it, 25. So 25, 25. Now, this just became a perfect square. So factor the trinomial, right? So this became a perfect square. X minus 5 squared, right? Equal to, how much is that right side? Negative 24 plus 25, 1. And now it's just like what we were doing before. So apply the square root property and solve. So square root x minus 5 is plus or minus 1. Add 5, add 5. X is 5 plus or minus 1. But now that means I have two solutions. x is 5 plus 1, 5 minus 1. So x is 6, x is 4. Right? So this problem, before we even started, was this a perfect square trinomial? No, we made it into one and then we solved it that way. So let's do this one. Is this a perfect square trinomial? You think it is, but it's not, because this 12 messes it up. So with the x squared and the 25, the middle number should have been 10. So this really isn't a perfect square. You have to make it into a perfect square. So let's go ahead and do that. So move the 25 to the other side. So x squared plus 12x plus a number equals negative 25 plus a number. Okay, what number goes there? 12 over 2, 6 squared, that's 36. Okay, and you can use your calculator to do that, right? 12 divided by 2 squared. Please, please, please use your calculators for these calculations so you don't make mistakes, right? Especially when you have negative numbers and whatever. Okay, so factor this. X, what number goes there? 6 plus or minus? Plus. Equals. Okay, tell me, what's 36 minus 25? Look at your calculator. 9. Okay? Is it? Oh, is it? 11. Okay, 11. So positive 11, right? Yeah. So positive 11. Let's take a square root. Boom, boom. Okay. X plus 6 is plus minus root 11. Good. Now what do? Fabulous. So x equals negative 6 plus or minus root 11. Okay. We're going to do one more, and then you're going to do the next one after that alone. Okay, so pay attention to this one. Yeah.
So I have a question. Like, I don't get how should we do it?
Right. So before, had I tried to factor this by a perfect square, like this number times this number is 10, right? 10x has to be the same as this number, but that's a 12x. That's why it couldn't have been factored. Yeah, this had to have been a 10. Then it would have worked. Just a 10, because 2 times 5 times x is 10x. Yeah. Okay? All right. So this one, move the 2 to the other side. So x squared plus 2x plus a number equals how much? Negative 2 plus a number. Ella, you with me? Sit up. Up, up, up. Okay. So what number goes there? 2 over 1. I'm sorry. 2 over 2 squared. So remember, you take this number, divide by 2, square. So 1. Now, we factor x1 plus equals negative 1. We have a negative this time. Uh-oh. What now? So this gives me x plus 1 equal to, what do I get there? The square root of negative 1 is how much? What did we learn yesterday? I plus or minus I. It's back. This is why we learned it, right? So now, minus 1, x is negative 1 plus or minus I. Right? Right. Okay. You're on your own. You're going to do D and you're going to do E. On your mark? Get set? Go. Right. So for the first one, right? Okay, hurry. So for the first one, probably. Right? Because you have a negative inside, it'll be I root 7 out here. right? Okay, should we do F? Let's do F. So x squared plus 4x plus a number equals -1 plus a number. Okay, so you take this, you divide by 2, then you squared, and that does give you 4. So when I factor x, square root of this gives me 2 plus in the middle equals how much? 3. Square root. X plus 2 is plus or minus root 3. So I subtract 2 from both sides. So x is -2 plus or minus root 3. Then look at how similar these two are. Like look at how different those two problems were, but look at how similar the answers turned out to be, right? So it really has to be like careful work. Okay? All right, I know. Yay is right. So you have to finish your homework obviously for tomorrow. Homework is due tomorrow. It's from the book. And tomorrow we are actually